Hello, everyone. My name's Deberber, and I hope you all are having a great day. Today, I'm checking out a game that used to play a decent amount on and off as as a kid, and just seeing where it's at right now. Of course, it's Lord on the App Store. It's probably 15 years old now. So if you're an original 2009 player and surprised to see someone putting out a Grawl video, just let me know. But today, I've been playing for about a week now and just wanted to kind of go over what's changed. Um, Back when I used to play kind of on and off between, I guess, 2010 through maybe 2013, and again in 2015 a little bit. So really, it's almost been, honestly, it's probably been close to almost a decade now since I've really, really actually cared and actually spent any meaningful amount of time on this game. So the most noticeable thing is obviously the player count. You can't expect that to stay as high as it was with thousands of players on at a time. Today, really you kind of get about 500 players on at a good time, kind of in the high 500s, and the low times can kind of be in the low 300s. I don't know if I've quite seen 200 yet, but um, yeah, a lot's changed. So we'll go ahead and get into that and just talk a little bit about what's going on. So I think the first thing that we need to look at is really the map. So the map's changed quite a bit since I've been here. When I last played, York was still here. That's not a castle or tower anymore. Um, Mod was moved when I was still playing. It used to be here in this middle section. It got moved up here to the top left. Um, the castle that was gone. I have been on since that's been removed, but the castle tower is no longer there. Destiny here is, I think, the newest tower. Yeah, that's here. Of course, Swamp Town got removed. So Venus Gospel, your original tower, that's no longer there. If any of you all still play, Deadwood is still here. Snowtown is still going strong. They've, of course, tweaked these towers. Sardins, I think, is probably the most original. Um, yeah, Sardins is pretty much the same in terms of entering that tower. So you're left with 5 towers. I know at one time we had, I think, 7. So a little different, but not with this amount of players. It's not really, 7 really is not needed. Um, Today I've been towering a little bit since I've been back, and really you can kind of hold a tower with 2, 3 players on a slow day, like it is, or on a high time, 6 players or so. So um, quite the different story than 30 people on and people with sub tags. So you were doing great if you had 2. Now it's like, if you have 10 players on, why don't you go ahead and get 4 towers? So quite the different story here. How they have done that, too, in terms of tracking time and all that. Um, just wanted to show that real quick and just show you how that looks now. Of course, the all-time score or hours is gone. So that bit of history that kind of keeps a game like this going pretty much has been lost. There's no really place in this game that has it. There's a place in Mod Town, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Same thing with player killing or PKing. Uh, that all-time score is gone as well, so you're just left with today, week, and month in terms of a leaderboard. I don't know, why they. I'm sure they archive players or something like that, so they can't populate here anymore. I don't know, but I don't know why you would kind of get rid of that history. Same with sparring, which used to be a big thing. Um, Now, if you go to the place where all the spars happen, I mean, there's probably 10 people here. Yeah, what do you know? There's 17. Did I do that right? Yeah, 17 players versus 100 or whatever it was when you used to spar. Um, some of you may not know this. Some of you probably never played, but they did add, a rail system. So you can hop on a rail track and just go to the different sections of the map. Um, Honestly, it's not that much faster than if you're riding a horse. And then they added something called a warp ring as well. And let me pull that up. Basically, you get three different warp crystals. It's a quest you do, and this one here is just the default. But there are 12 places, kind of around the map that you can add your warp crystals to. I know there's one at the castle, one at this island, one in York, one all the way at the bazaar in Destiny. Probably, I think there's one out here in Swamp, one in Snow. So it really makes it a lot easier to tower or just get around from, a place that you need to go to for, say, you're doing a castle quest, which, you know, is a baddie killing quest, and you get 1,000 grolets a day for it. You can just do it once, but that's 7,000 grolets in a week. That's not terrible, especially since most of the long term players are still probably looking at a few tens of thousands of grolets. So uh, the Burger Refuge is still the Burger Refuge for those social players that no longer play here anymore. Of course, it's empty instead of people sitting at these booths here, or you can at least see yourself in Grawl City now. So a little bit of a different story. There's still some original places. Obviously, Grawl itself, that's pretty much unchanged. Um, on it town up here, you do still have your kind of seasonal gift shop, should I say. Obviously, this is still Valentine's Day. I'm assuming they'll do some St. Patty's Day here. Revolution, that is still down here in York. I think it used to be, up where Mod was, if I recall. But that's down in York now. Nexus is still there. So a lot is still of the same similar features. It's just a quieter game. They've added where you, you can catch bugs. I don't think that was a original feature. Um, so like this grasshopper here, yeah, perfect example if they can catch it. But you can sell those at down there in Swamp Town. There's a little hut down there that you can do that at, and then also in the water. I think you had to do a quest to get it, but you can go ahead and just um, find loot. So I'll show you that right here. So you can sell all that. I mean, it's not a lot of Grawlets. I think we all know that Grawl is a kind of traditionally hard game to like, get money at. They do still have their shop. They haven't added anything different. It's still the uh, what is it, 12,500, or that's the guild house, 2575. Yeah, 7,500 Grawlets. Um, oh, there we go. Oh, okay. So you can't buy the Grawlets on the actual browser page, so you have to have the app for that. Um, but yeah, this is pretty much what the game is now, and I can get away from that person trying to PK me while I'm trying to do this. Um, just to show you what a tower looks like now, we'll just pop down here to Destiny, check that out. Um, Jinx has that, but I'll show you just how few players are on now. Maybe they actually have a decent amount. I don't know. We'll see. Uh, yeah, 2 players at a tower. That's that's what this has come to. So let me just, I'll go to Sards in a bit. But yeah. So if you're looking to get back into Grawl, most importantly, just want to hear what your story was. If there's a piece of history that you want to know or share, really, because I guess what I should say, like I said, in Mod Town, there's a list of, I think, 12 guilds that got 1,000 hours, and a list of 6 guilds that got 10,000 hours. So like Venus Gospel, Soul of Ninjas, I think Characters Japan got up to 12 hours as or 10,000 hours as well. Um, but yeah, feel free to share your story, PM me, or in the game, or whatever you'd want to do. Always happy to hear about your old stories, and even see your old hat collections or something like that. So hope you all have a good day, and you know, give Grawl a chance, check it out again. It's definitely different than most games out there now. So if you're looking for just something different to do and kind of waste your time, um, go ahead, re-download it, and I appreciate you all for watching.